Hi there, my name's Jason Williams, and in this video I am finally setting up the pump systems on these water tanks to run the whole house. You know, it's going to be a I've been waiting to do this for a while, I just haven't had the time, and I want to see if I can, how long will these last, you know, can I get a whole year, you know, I'm pushing, there's 46,000 litres all up, so I might get away with it. We'll see how we go, but I'll update those videos as it goes. Yeah, alright, so I best get straight into this. I've got to put a level sensor in this tank, or not a level sensor, a level gauge, just so I can see how much is in there, and play around, and got a few things to do, set up pipes and whatnot, but you'll see that as I go, and I'll try to record as much as I can. Don't know how long it's going to take me. It's one I've been thinking about for a long time, and every time I think about it, it changes ideas. Anyway, so begin. So I've installed the tank level gauge, and that was, you know, the first bit for this job. And now this pipe, you see, is it's 2-inch poly. But what I'm going to do is put like union fittings into the gate valve, and use PVC and go into the ground. Just union fittings so I can maneuver everything and fit and tighten and adjust when I have to as I go. And I'll go PVC underground here to this T-junction that's here, and then straight up between these two tanks and underground, and come along here, and again union fittings to that pump. And that I'll show you as I go, because the pump, though, of just where it's sitting, it's not mounted or anything. I don't even know if this pump still works. It's old, and I don't think it's big enough, but you never know. No, I don't think it'll be big enough. It's got a pressure switch, but again, I just don't think it will be big enough. And if I put union fittings on there, I can you know, change it at some stage. And so there's the power points, and from here I've got to make this first. This is the first section, is to the pump. Then I'm gonna play around with the other side later, so time to go get those bits. Alright, so one of the first jobs on this, before I it's a bit warm, so I'm in an air conditioned shed, obviously. I love bragging about my aircon shed. So I will come inside and I'm going to prep this pump, because I want to put union fittings on everything so that it can be removable. You know, it's got to be very removable, because this pump, I don't even know if it works. It probably won't be enough flow for the house. You know, all those kinds of things, and so I've got to just make it, fit it together, test it, and then when it doesn't work, I've got to, you know, pull it out and get another pump. And so as long as it's got union fittings, I should be able to do that. Should being the operative word. So, being this is the pressurized pump side, I've got some PVC glue that's for pressurized pipes, and some primer, and I'm going to go ahead, and I guess I'll just start, you know, making all these up, because this is basically what I'm going to be doing for the you know, for the rest of today, is just making odd bits. Not going to do any work outside. It's probably a little bit warm. You know, I'm not a plumber, I don't know if you can tell, but I mean, I have done lots of pipe work in the past, but I'm not a qualified plumber by any means. Like, you know, don't take what I do with plumbing as this is how it should be. You know, I know that you prime every surface, and you glue on every surface too, from what I can remember, especially with, you know, pressurized pipes. And then once that's on, try to get this together as quick as possible, because it goes off pretty quick. Oh, and you got to watch it doesn't push it back out. So you got to hold it together, twist it a bit. Just hold it together while it does its bond. That bit I did forget momentarily. Hold it together for probably 30 seconds. Yep, that looks pretty done to me. A clean rag and just there's a little bit of excess primer. I mean, not that that's going to hurt this union fitting, but if glue got on there, that would. Got a bit of glue on my hands. Normally what happens. And then, so that is now assembled union fitting to go on there. I couldn't get every fitting I wanted because I just went to Bunnings and I was in a bit of a rush and I couldn't bother looking around too much. So thread tape on this one, going the same way as the thread. Putting plenty on here. So again, you know, the reason for union fittings is so I can take this off and tighten them up without too much drama, hopefully. You might think, what's with me having such big spanners? I used to work on some very large equipment once. And that will do for that one. Alright, so that union fitting stays together. Better put that back together. So this is the whole side I'm prepping first, is that to the tanks, so the feed side, which I've got a fitting here. That goes in there. Yep, just fits, not supposed to, but it'll do. And I believe I need a piece of this, and that will go in there. Yep. So that bit in there. Push it down and twist, and straight on there, and push them hard together and hold them together. So I cut that little piece of pipe exactly the right length and hold this for a little while it bonds and holds that fitting. Yep. Alright. This is pretty boring. I've recorded doing those, that'll do. I won't record this. So I begin leaving some of these slabs up, and then I'm going to take off the poly pipe as it's no longer required because I'm putting a PVC underground, hence I'm pulling up all these slabs. And being that this was time lapse, it was just, you know, I can reflect back and watch this and go, wow, that was so quick and easy, but it wasn't. It was a warm day. There was a bit of messing around. I dug it out, which was actually quite therapeutic, you know. Doing this job myself, I felt pretty happy with myself. I thought, yeah, I've done this all myself. But like anything, just cleaning it out is a bit of work. You'll see the days progressed, and that will take me on to the next part, which is putting in the pipes. So as you see, I've made and installed these pipes from one to the other. It's 50mm, which is 2-inch, and then goes up through the guts of this. I don't fancy myself walking up through there, so I'll rock around the outside, have a look at that. Yep, still full. And this is between the tanks. The pipe comes out here, goes through, and I've doggled it up, and I was going to get a flexible type hose, but I couldn't find anything. I had the parts to hard mount it like this. It's on a union fitting, so I can undo it easy enough to remove the pump, because I can guarantee this pump will be too small, might not even work. So I'll move that pump out of the way, and then I'll flush them lines, probably give it another 10 minutes or so with the glue, and flush the lines out, turn it off, hook the pump back on, and then test the pump, see if it works. Let's do that. Alright, let's flush these lines. Probably turn it off at that. Alright, with that flushed, that's just to get any dirt and any bits and pieces that might have got in there while I was working and installing it, putting it together. Get this pump over here. What I'm going to do is just connect this back up and then test it. Just got to test this pump, but when I turn the water on, will it flush through? Probably will. Let's find out. Alright. Should I test the pump? Well, it works. Better turn that off and unplug it. Get a bit wet. I might as well fill in around these pipes. There doesn't seem to be any leaks. And this pipe's not pressurized, so I don't have to get too concerned about it. So I'll fill it in. I'll cover that top of that pipe, and I guess tomorrow I'll start on that side of it, which is more exciting. And so I start putting the pipes in place, just bringing them out, slapping them up, and then go get the glue, and I start gluing each of these bits together, which actually ended up having to change some of this, as you will see as the video develops. You might see me change a couple of things, and then I braced it in place, getting it all ready for me to start it up and give it a bit of a test. Alright, so we've got part of it's done here. See, this fitting's going to be for a water reel. This one's, just a tap, because there's actually going to be a trough here. I don't know where that is. I've left it down the other place. And it's done to the pipes, into there, the union fitting, and so far it's along here. Underneath these power points has a little bit of a thing. If you're wondering what the heat this stuff here is on the pipe, it's because I don't think PVC is UV rated, so I've got to finish cleaning it up, covering it, and I'll paint what's exposed. But this is so far on the job. Goes down there, goes out under that pipe, it goes out to there, and there's a stop end on that right at the end of it. And yeah, that's so far, and I'll keep going. I'll just I'll test the pump now. Partially done. It means I can, if this works, I can use that tap up there, so I'm going to turn it on and see if there's any leaks. There shouldn't. It should have switched off by now. Oh yeah, there we go. But there's quite a lot of air in the line, so it might take a fair bit compressing that. And I should see what the pressure's like now. Oh yeah, heaps of air. Nice cold water. Gosh, there's quite a bit of pressure there. Maybe this will be enough to run the house. Still a bit of air obviously in that pipe because I can't flush that out yet. Seems to work. And quite a bit of pressure. I'm pretty stoked with that so far. Now I have to go and sort of cover the rest of the pipes. I don't want it being destroyed by the UV, by the sunlight. And there's a bit to, you know, maybe I'll paint. I mean, I've got a couple of days before I'll get back into this, and yeah, hopefully, you know, I'll continue this video and getting the water to the front of the house. I feel like I'm halfway in the project or more. Hopefully more in this bit. Hopefully. All right, keep going. And so here I just time-lapse moving pavers out of the way and hoses and bits and pieces, and this was clearly the worst part of the job, obviously, was moving all these and stacking them up out of the way. This was quite exhausting, and I was starting to wonder about my life's choices at this point. But then I got a little mattock pick out and began digging the dirt all for the pipes. Turn the mains off. Oh. That should be right. And so I can't mess around with this side of the water meter. You're not allowed to do that. So what I can do is undo off here and here. And I've got some fittings. These are going to go in sort of like this, I hope. Well, there's one other fitting that joins to the water meter. I hope there's enough room. I'll see how I go. It's got a rubber seal. Looks like it's all the right size. So I should be right to wind that straight on there. So there you go. Pipes are all done, all glued, and I've got to wait 24 hours for it to cure before I can put pressurized water in and test it. So if we come around here, oh, you'll see, you know, apart they're all glued. The pressure pump from here, you'll see a straight line of pipe, and that's where I'll put filters in if I need them. And down here I'll make a cover. I'll make a little cover like I've made for these front ones, because I've got them off at the moment, because I got the gate valve off because I just plumbed up and joined in that pipe. And so that's it, done. Apparently 24 hours. And before I get too carried away, I'll show you the pipe out the front. That's the plumbing into the just my side of the water meter. I've got a little valve there with a anti-drain back and a union fitting for that pipe. Pipe's going along there. It'll be buried. Obviously once I've tested it, made sure there's no leaks and everything works. And it goes through under that. there's a little loop goes under there. You know, I was gonna record putting the pipe under that piece of concrete. You know, what technique I used to do that, but I got to it and I just pushed the pipe along underneath the concrete and it just went straight through, and I was like, oh well, that was almost too easy. That was the hardest bit. I thought that'd be the hardest bit, but it wasn't. It was actually the easiest. Alright, all the pipes are done. I'll just turn the water back on, and because I had to turn them off to connect the other end. Let a bit of air out of the tap. Bit of air. Right, turn that one off. And so before I can turn the pump on, I have to go out the front and swap the valves. I'll show you that now. Alright, and switching off the mains. Turn on my valve. And excuse the pipe still, and I'll fill all that in, neaten it all up later. I won't record that. I'll just finish this. I've got to turn on the other valve now. Turn on this one. Alright, now I'll go turn on the pump. Alright, here goes the big chest. And now I'll walk around back to the other end. I can hear a bit of air going through, and I'll check the pipe at the other end. Alright, just started gashing. Oh, yep, get a bit of air out. I'll run this for probably a couple of minutes, or probably 1 minute, and just see whether we get all the air out. I mean, I'm sure we will, and as I use the water, it's gonna, it's gonna all come out anyway. But get the most out that I can. Water pressure's not like amazing, but that's more than good enough. I should probably switch that off now. Yeah, bit of pressure there. And now I've got to go along and check all the pipes, make sure no leaks eventuate, and once this is all done, and I'm happy, I can fill it all in and make it look neat. Alright, so all filled in, all good. I can look up here, walk up here, and there's no hole, no pipe. It's all good. Alright, so that's everything here complete. I've got a little note of the things I've got to mention on here somewhere in my notes. Alright, so it's currently December 2023 that I've completed this project, and this video won't come out till July, which is 7 months, and which is okay. So what I'm going to do is I will do a video at about 6 months. I'll put in what time it is that I record it, and it'll come out 1 week after this. So when this video goes live 1 week later will be the catch-up video on how this is going, and that'll be around about 6 months or 7 months depending. And I'm incredibly excited. Like, I'm glad I'm finally using my own water. I've been wanting to do this for ages, and I've done it before, obviously on a farm, but this, being in suburbia, I'm like, oh yeah, why not? Anyway, it's all good. It works. It seems to work well. The accumulator seems to have picked up the the problem I was having, just one issue that I did have without the accumulator, was the evaporative aircon to be on, and because it was using just a smidgen of water, it wouldn't absorb that take up. You know, the pump would just keep running on and staying at full pressure, just running constantly. Without that on, without the evaporative operating, wouldn't happen. You know, if it was off, no problem. So I've put this on, and this, so the pump will now only seems to operate every sort of half hour-ish, 20 minutes, half hour, and just pump up, putting pressure up for the evaporative, or longer, depends. And yeah, so far so good. So July video, 7 months, 1 week catch, an accumulator. So I didn't record putting the accumulator on because it was kind of a rush job. I was like, oh, I want this done, and so I went down the shop and found one and put it all together, and away we go. But yeah, thank you very much for watching this video, me building this water setup, finishing it, completing it. You know, I was away for a good amount of time, so I didn't get to continue, and now it's done, thank goodness. And I wonder how long 46,000 litres of water, because there's two 23,000 litre tanks, so how long will 46,000 litres run me? You know, it's just me and my wife that live here. You know, I don't know that, I don't reckon it will go the whole year, but I reckon it will go close. And if it does, that's the whole idea of the update video, is I'm going to show you how much water I've used in comparison to the level gauge, because the little level indicator on the side of the tank, it's full. And so I'm going to be able to find out how much water I use within reason. And you know, did the rain pick me back up? Did I get rain in between? How did it work? And in that same video, I'll introduce a solar system on the house and explain how I go about minimalising my power bill, because at the moment I don't really get a power bill. You know, it's ranges anywhere from about $50 to $90 a cycle, which is really cheap. But I had to pay for the solar system up front, or, you know, well, not up front, but I had to pay for the solar system, but it works out cheaper with the solar system regardless. Cool, thank you very much for watching, and I will aspire to see you in the next one. Hopefully 1 week from now I'll give you an update, and hopefully it all works. Hopefully. Guess you'll find out. Cheers, see ya.